In today's video, I'm going to guide you guys through step by step on how to create a Django web application. You're going to learn everything you need to know about creating views, templates, and so much more to create an interactive blog application where we can create new posts, edit posts, as well as delete them. If you're ready to dive into web applications with Django, welcome to the channel. Welcome back, guys, for another episode of Code with Josh. For obvious reasons, I'm Josh, and I'm stoked to have you guys here. Now, before I dive right into that video, help me out, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe. That really does help out my channel, and it shows me that you guys are getting value in this content. So hit the like button. Now, in today's video, we're going to be expanding and building out a Django web application. I'm going to guide you guys through how this is set up, how we process this, how we create views, really the whole shebang. All right. And by the end of this video, you're going to have a pretty nice looking blog application where you'll be able to create posts, edit them, delete them, and really do a whole lot of things with this application. We're going to be building on this in future episodes. I don't know what I was about to say there, but in future episodes, we are going to be building on this, adding authentication, adding the ability to like and comment on posts, pretty much everything. But I'm really breaking down Django because it's such a big topic that you guys deserve smaller videos that really help you understand what's going on. Now, before I dive right into it, guys, the first link in the description, if you're new to Python, you're absolutely new, you don't really know where to go, okay, you guys can get my free webinar. Absolutely free. It's the Python Roadmap to Success. Over 8 years of teaching experience through trial and error where I've created the perfect roadmap that I've taken through over 1,000 of my own students on this journey. Okay, that's the first link in the description. Head on down. If you're new to Python, it's for you, okay? Join the webinar and you're going to get my free handcrafted Python guide at the end of the webinar, okay? Check it out. It's there for you guys. All the other links down there, everything from my Python newsletter all the way to my ebooks, they're dedicated to you and helping you grow. All right, let's jump into why you're all here, a Django web application. Welcome, guys, to our project of building out a full-scale Django application. Now, I already have the initial setup. That's because in the last video, I actually built out and showed you guys how we begin a Django project, how to set everything up. And I went through and I explained what every file is and how it actually helps us in our application. So a real quick refresh, I'm going to link the video here. If you don't see it, it's going to be in the description. I highly encourage you guys to go watch that one so you can really understand how we're building things out here. Okay, now I have, when we create a Django app, we create, or Django just supplies us this folder. And this folder is the starting point for any Django app. Init is just init, we need that for a package. ASGI and WSGI, those are used for deployment. URLs helps us match the URLs to the different apps in Django. So for example, a website could have a blog, a store, a contact me page, whatever. Each of those would be a different app. And this part, we get access to Django's dashboard, and then I linked the new app that then we made together last class as the starting point. Just to show us where we're at here, this is pretty much it. Okay, if you want to add it, you can then go back into the admin dashboard, add admin. You can see this here. I can add a post. I can put something, put something, save. It worked. If we return to the home page, oops, just the home, you're going to see that put down here. Now, the goal of this video is to show you guys how we create multiple views to achieve different things. I want to create a more dynamic application where you can actually add data, edit it, and delete it right here within the apps page and migrate everything. Okay, so building out different views. That's where we're picking up with now. So remember, check out that video below. I'll try and put the code as well in the description if you guys want to join in and follow along. Now, I'm already here. So first thing we'll do actually is I'm just going to go through. I'm going to begin by going to my models because we're going to start doing things here where we can actually edit the model, we can delete the model, we can create a new model, right? And this just represents a single post on the blog. I already have my post model. I'm going to create the absolute URL. So absolute URL. There we go. It actually gives me a decent amount, and I'm going to use that actually. And when I can say from Django URLs, we are going to import reverse. Okay. And then afterwards, I want to go to, we don't really have it yet, but the post detail, right? I want to see the post information. Any quargs, we're actually just going to give a single keyword argument here. Any extra outside arguments that you want to give it. How do we target a specific post with its ID? Right, so every post is going to have its own unique ID, and that's how we'll be able to target it. So my models is done. Anytime, I'm going to kill my terminal. Anytime you make a change to your model, because it's affecting your database, you need to migrate those changes. So Python 3, manage py, make migrations, run. No changes detected. I still made a change. Manage py. I'm still going to migrate it. If it throws me an error later, I'm going to do it again, but I just changed that. So I want to make sure that I'm off to a clean start. So our models are done. That's fine. Let's start creating the views that I think we're going to need. Now, Django's a bit different, right? Because in Flask, you would create an app, a route. A route is pretty much your view, okay? Here, I don't need app route. I can just make the views here, and we can pass them in as we need them. For this, we are going to create some other types of views. So I'm going to create class-based views. Views, generic. So any CRUD applications, create, read, update, delete. This is kind of like a CRUD application. We can create a view. I can edit a view, and I can delete a view. And these are classes that I can use for that. From Django URLs, I'm going to import reverse lazy. Okay, so let's start to build these out. So I'm going to need a new post. I'm going to have to update a post. We're going to have to delete a post. I'm going to have to view the details of a post. Yeah, I think those are good. Let's actually start with view details because I know that that's going to be a function. And inside here, this is just going to give us any of the post details. So if I make a function here, let's call this post details. And this is going to take a request. And from that, we're going to actually do something with it. So I'm going to get a post, a single post, because I want to view the details of that. And we can get back the object. Sometimes this is helpful. Sometimes this really annoys me. I leave it on because, well, sometimes it's helpful. Get object or we get an error. Okay, so I'm going to say get object or 404, which ideally, because I don't have that, it must mean I didn't import it up top there. There we go. Okay, so I want to get the post object back. And really, I'm going to type in the post class, and then we're going to put PK, yep, PK. Okay, so we have a post. I can return render. I'm going to render the request that I'm making as well as the templates. So one thing we're going to do here is currently in this app, I just have one HTML file, but that's not good practice. If we have multiple pages or just a larger application, I want to have like a base template that I can pass to all the other ones, and the other templates can actually inherit those templates. So we will make base. I don't have it right now, but I'm going to say blog. And from blog, we're going to go post detail. .html. So I'm gonna have to make one for that as well. And then coming from our models, we are going to say post. I'm going to give this the post, excuse me, right? And so this post I get back here, I'm going to be giving it to this HTML file, which currently is non-existent. All right, so I'm just trying to think out here. I need the details. Let's go with how we create a new post. So this time I'm gonna create a class. Let's call this post create view. And the reason is because I can actually use the class we imported here. I can specify the model, which the model that we're using is post. If we go to models, this is what we started with today, and it's what I built out with in the previous video, right? If you guys are missing anything, you want me to walk you through how you set up a Django project, a super user, check out that video. That's really going to be helpful to you because I'm just going to keep building. Django's so big, I think it does justice to break this down for you guys, and multiple videos help with that. So this, I'm giving it a post, which actually, if that's a class, it's not a string. Then we're going to give it the template name. Now, once again, I don't actually have this template yet. As you can see, it's only recommending me home. So this will be like post form HTML. I'm going to have to create some kind of form that collects the user's information. And this form will have some fields like title and content, let's say. And then once we're done, we want to reverse lazy. So basically, once we create a new post, I want to send the users back to the home page again. That's what's happening here. Okay, so this is sort of how all these are going to go. I'll create one. Let's call this post update view. Let's call this, update view. We can give this the class update view. And since we're here, this, I think you can guess what I'll probably put here, post delete view. And let's just give it the class delete view. Okay. With our update view, now, once again, all this content is pretty much the same thing. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it. Because when I update it, all the same stuff is going to happen. It's going to allow me to go to the post, just change the details that I already wrote, and then send me back to the home page. So we're not actually going to do a whole lot there. Delete, we're going to have to treat a little bit differently because delete, it's in the database. I ultimately want to remove it, which we'll do later through some other logic. Let's say model is our post, okay? Template name here is going to be different. So I'm going to say blog, and then let's say like, what did I say? Post form. Both of these are post form. So I guess we'll call this post delete HTML. That's probably fine. And then give it a success. Once we do that, we are going to go back to the home page. Cool. So these are our posts. These are our views. These are the routes, right? This is represented by our home page. Each of these is a CRUD operation, create, read, update, delete. So because it's a CRUD operation, I'm just importing the Django fields they have for us. And then I can build out a class that encompasses the model that we're affecting, the template that's going to use it, the fields, as well as what to do after. Okay, take a minute, pause, read through what we just did. Okay, I highly recommend that. Drop a comment if you guys have questions. I love interacting with you guys down there, and I try my best to really help you out down there. So drop a comment, like, subscribe to the video if you're getting value, which I hope you genuinely are. Okay, now that we've handled that, so these have no way of communicating with any HTML files. Okay, they're completely unrelated. In order to kind of blend them together and tell Django, hey, this model, this class, actually needs to speak to something else. This is why we have URLs. Okay, URLs currently is just the home page. There's nothing going on here. Okay, but we're going to create a whole slew of other paths here. So our first path will be like the post details. So I'm going to say I'm building a URL right now. If I go back to my homepage, where is it? Right here. This is the URL. Essentially, I'm now building onto the end of this to put other stuff here. That's what's happening. Okay, so I'm going to call this post. Each post is unique, so it's going to be an integer with a unique number. So that will be linked to what post we're affecting. I want to go into my views module, my Python module, and we have a function post detail. We can give that a name here, which we use these names in the HTML. Okay, so right now I'm giving it a name. When I make HTML for this, I can use this name, and then HTML will go here, and this is going to go to our views. So we have that path done. Each one pretty much needs a path. Okay, so if we're creating a new post, maybe I can say new. Okay, this is going to be going to our views. We want to post create view, and I'm going to convert that to a view because it's a class. We can give it a name, and we're just going to call this post create path. We're going to go post. We want to edit one, so this one's going to be a little different because we need to know what we're editing. So we're going to go integer, what number is up for edit, call it edit, I suppose. Views, posts, what did I call that? Update view as my view. Okay, let's give it a name, and we're just going to call this post update. Awesome. Moving into my last one, I think here we're going to go post. Once again, who are we deleting? So really, it's just this stuff again, but instead of edit, we're going to say delete. We need to link the view, so views, post, delete view as a view, and we can name this, well, probably just post delete. That works for me. Sweet. So these are all paths that are now linking to the views. Okay, this is great. Now, nothing should happen. If I get an error, that's one thing, or I'm not even connected to my server, that's another thing. Anytime you're disconnected, fire up your terminal, Python 3 manage py run server. Okay, that's how we turn on the Django server. We're going to go to the URL. Okay, so everything is the exact same. This is how I want it. Okay. Now kind of comes the fun stuff. I enjoy the Django stuff, like the Pythonic stuff. That's fun. That's logical. That's cool. Now it's just going to be the HTML side of things. So currently everything's in home, which is not great practice. Okay. What we should be doing is creating a file called base HTML. And this is everything's gonna inherit this because I don't want to have to consistently use this every single HTML file. The other files don't need it. I can just pass it in directly to this. Now, okay, inside here, to make this cleaner for you guys, I'll do a little styling today. I want you guys to go to Bootstrap. Okay, so Bootstrap, if you're unfamiliar, it's a phenomenal HTML, CSS library, has a bunch of built-in components, and it makes everything look nice a lot faster. I'm not incredible at this. I've used it throughout a lot of projects, okay? So because I mostly do Python, there might be some documentation reading here. But if you click Docs, I know that if you scroll down to include Bootstrap number 2, I want you to copy the link right here, copy.
If you guys are getting value in this video, help me out, hit that like button and subscribe. That really does help out the channel. And remember, if you're struggling with this, you must be new to Python, maybe you're not. But if you are new to Python, the first link in the description, that is my free Python training, my webinar, to help make sure that you master the fundamentals. Head on down, check it out. All right, back to the video.
Okay, copied that. We're gonna post that right here at the top. Go back to Bootstrap. And we need to copy the JavaScript script at the bottom. Copy. And we are going to slap that right in there. Okay, what's the title? I think we're calling this what? I'm just going to keep nerdy posts. I dig it. I like it. We're going to keep that. Now, for any external styling today, yes, you could, and relatively you should create a CSS file. I just want, first off, me and then also you to be able to see what we're targeting. So I'm probably just going to write the CSS in the HTML today. And I'll try and use Bootstrap where I can. So in our body, I'm going to create a nav. This is kind of like a nav bar at the top, but nav is slightly different here. But I'm going to use nav because I'm just going to call this nav bar. it'll take it from Bootstrap and it'll actually use this. And navbar expand LG. Now, guys, when it comes to this, okay, I actually have the classes that I'm using written down on the side. So if you see me looking over here, it's because, yeah, I don't have these memorized, okay? I had to spend time to actually go through and see what I wanted. And to try and keep the video at a decent length, okay, I wrote them down. So I can create a larger nav bar. A bootstrap is margin bottom of a 4. Now inside here, I am going to give this an anchor tag. So my anchor tag is basically when I click the text, I just want it to go home. So I'm going to insert here some Jinja. So Jinja, which I actually forgot the first part of Jinja, but I didn't because we'll build it out here. Jinja allows us to communicate with Django and Flask HTML documents and actually pass them in Python code, for example. To create Jinja, I covered this a lot more in the last video, we use the curly brackets with percentage signs. Now, href usually takes a URL. So Django has a function, kind of a function, URL. Where do you want to go if you click this? I want to go back to the home page. And then, for example, I could then again put nerdy posts, like the name of that, and just put that in there. Okay, now I'm going to create a main container. Main, let's call this class is equal to container, is anyone laughing at my spelling it? Container. And really the benefit of this is I'm going to create a new block. I'm going to call this block content. And then anytime you start a block, you need to end the block, right? So any other HTML stuff we have here is going to inherit all this stuff. And then it's going to pass it in between here. So we don't actually have to create the boilerplate every single time. I can just insert my HTML stuff into here. Okay, so base is done. I'm going to save that. I don't think we have to come back here, right? Let's return to home. So as you can see, I'm going to refactor home now because in home, I have all this stuff that's not actually needed. I'm going to delete. Up here, I'm going to type extends. So this HTML page is an extension of the base. So we're going to go blogs because it's in the blogs folder /base.html. Now this is going to inherit everything from base. Where are we giving it to? So remember that I'm going to give the data and put it right inside here. So we're going to actually start and I'm going to say block, again, content. So I don't forget, because I can't tell you how many times that I messed that up, I'm just going to say end block. So all this is now going to be passed in dynamically how we want it. We could try and run it. You might just have us thrown at errors. Okay, exactly. So base, it doesn't actually exist yet, well, we made it, right? So blogs, base, HTML, okay. We're fine for now. Extends blog base. Am I in the blog folder? I'm in the blog folder. And if I'm in the blog folder, spelling, blog. I didn't call it blogs. I don't know if any of you caught that. Let me refresh and see now. Yeah, okay, same thing, but you can see now I have this URL. Now it just takes me, it refreshes the home page because there's nowhere else to go. So that's fine. That's all sorted. So we have our block content now. Now we could start to style this out more, okay? And by doing that, we could have like a div. In this div, let's try and use some of those Bootstrap classes here. This is a row, but I'll give it some margin. Internally in this div, we'll have another div that's going to be a column. So class is equal to a column. And here we can just say H1. H1, we are just going to call this nerdy blog posts. Or honestly, I don't know if you guys are readers. My weekly Python newsletter, the Nerd Nook, that's in the description. I write multiple times a week. Let's kind of call it the Nerd Nook. I like that. If you guys want to give it a class, you're welcome to give it a class. I think I can just say here like display. what do I have over here? Display 4. This is coming from Bootstrap. This is not me naming classes. Okay, I'm trying to see what I want to use, where I want to use it. Okay, so we have the H1. Then additionally, we want a button. I want to try to put a button at the top that when I click it, I can create a new post. All right, so let's create a div next to that. And this will be, well, I'll just copy this because it's going to use the same stuff. This can be a column. This can be text end. Suppose we'll call it that. So inside here, I will just give this an anchor tag and I will use Bootstrap to style it as a button. What is this a URL for? So this is going to be a URL for, well, when I click it, I don't actually have the HTML page yet, but I do have the view. Where is it? Post forum, but I named it. What did I name it? Okay. So when I click that, yeah, I wanna refer to post create. It's gonna refer to this view. So I'm gonna put that here. Okay, if I try to run this now, most likely I'm gonna be thrown errors because we don't have the HTML file for that. So that's fine. This is a button. This is going to be Bootstrap button primary, and we'll call this create new post. Okay, so anytime I click that, it's going to create me a new post. Okay, so that's brilliant. Let's see if anything changes there. Yeah, okay, well, you get the point. Looks okay, we're doing good. Down here now, I'm gonna create a div. Let's create a row. I like the row, I think. This stuff is going to go inside here. Okay, so the first thing, I'll just put this inside now, actually. Okay, so each post will go in a new row. So for every post in posts, we want to create a div for each of those posts. And let's give it a class. I'm going to use Bootstrap here. Let me read the Bootstrap doc. I can use column margin. Yeah, okay. I think I can do here column MD6. That's the size of the column. So column medium is what that stands for in Bootstrap. And then I'm going to give it a margin bottom. Okay. Inside here, then I will structure out another class. I will give it a class, but I meant to say div right there. And so in each column, this will be like the, let's call this content section. And this is actually going to house our content. Okay, if I do this now, I won't have to do it much later, so that's fine. Let's give this an H2, I suppose. The H2 is really just going to be an anchor tag to an article, I suppose. So inside here, let's give it our Jinja, and this is going to be our URL to post detail. So we already actually made that post. And I do need to give it the number. So inside there as well, I'm going to say post PK. Because if I go back to my views right here, post details, PK is representing which post is it, right? So if you imagine your database like an Excel spreadsheet, each row, like 1, 2, 3, 4, is a different post. And each post has its own unique value, 1, 2, 3, or 4. So we're calling this route, this view here. Okay, so anchor tag, post detail, and honestly, for the name of this post, I'm going to use post.title. So I'm taking the post and we're accessing the title, which is in your models. Hope this is clicking. Hope this is making a little sense for you guys. Okay, so our H2 is done. Paragraph, this is just going to be the text content. So I can say here post content. I'll probably just leave it at that. Under it, if we want, we have a timestamp. So we could also create a timestamp, I suppose. And let's just say like small. This is just going to be small text, which, do I still have this? Oh, well, I have it here. I'm going to delete this. What did I call it? Pub date, publish date, created at. So we're going to say post pub date. So I can see the date we actually published this at. Okay. Inside the div here for some bootstrap stylings, I'm going to try and align this correctly and put it where I want. So let me check my bootstrap here. We can justify content. I guess they recommend here a few things. So flex, justify, content. What do they have between? And then they have align, items, center. Okay, so I hope we will see how that works here. Awesome. Then individually under this publish, I'm going to create a final div. This is just going to be, let's call this button group, I suppose. And all I want to actually create in here is going to be 2 anchor tags. These anchor tags are just going to be buttons that I'm going to shape out here. So really I could put here class equals button. And then this is going to be some bootstrap button small. And they have button outline secondary. I'm going to copy these for both. So what these buttons are going to be are my edit and delete buttons. They have secondary, they have primary, and then they have, is it warning? What is it? What do they have here? Danger, not warning. So inside the first one, this can be your edit button. This can be your delete button. And then your href on the edit button is going to be URL. Let's go to my URLs. Edit, post update, and post delete. I want both of those. So post update, this should be a string. And how do we identify that? Once again, post PK is going to help me identify that. And then for the second one, copy, 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 paste, paste, paste. We are just going to say here post delete. Save. Oh, I think I did okay there. We're about to see how well I did and how well I didn't do. I think, wait. Let me find it. End block. Oh, I do have end block. Okay. Going back to refreshing our screen. Okay. Okay. It's not taking the stylings very much. If I create post won't work. Error. I don't even have that. I don't have that view yet. If I click the post, also, I don't have that view yet. So that's fine. Starting to shape up though. This is really good. So home is done. Okay. Now, when I click a post, you just saw I didn't see anything. So let's actually create one here. I'm going to call this, let's call this post detail. I think I have to double check this because inside our views, yeah, I already named it post detail. So this is going to be post detail. Anything I don't need, guys, I'm going to close out of, try and keep us focused. What do we want to do? How do we inherit? Extends, blog, base, HTML. This is my extension. Once again, slap in here, we are going to go block content because our base HTML has that. And we're going to go end block. Okay, so this one, let's create a div here. I'm going to call this this is, again, I think I'm using the class I used in the other one, content section. This is going to house all the content. We're going to have an H1, we're going to have a paragraph tag, and then under, I guess I could put like 3 buttons. So horizontal roll, I'm thinking out loud. A div, and in this div, we're just going to go anchor tag 3 times for all 3 of those buttons, which is going to be edit, delete, and go back to home, I suppose. So inside my H1 here, let's just give this is the post title. The paragraph is just the post content, HR. Now for this, I might go steal it. If I go to home, what did I just do with all these buttons? I'm just going to copy this button, slap it here for now, and I'm going to use the href. So this one, if it's going to be edit, that's fine. Then I'm going to put edit. This one, we will say delete. Then we're just going to say delete. And then this one, I don't need this stuff. We just want to go home. And we're going to say return home. Sure, works for me. Delete that. Okay, now again, I'm going to give a class here. I think I used in the other one button group. I will say button group for this one as well. And one thing I suppose, well, I don't need the date you posted it. If you want to put the date here, you could. What did I say here? We could just say small. We're just going to go post pub. Oh, geez, pub date. There it is. Being smart. Thank you. I saved that. I'm going to refresh. Yeah, this is great. Now my buttons aren't spaced out right. Edit, delete won't work. Return to home. These guys are working. So this is great. Awesome. Guys, if you're getting value, help me out. Hit that like button, subscribe. That really helps out the channel. Post detail is done, we can say. Okay. Moving on now, how do we create a new post? Because when I click that create button, we need a new post to create. So let's call this post. I think I was specific. Form. Always double check your work. Post form. That's what I named it earlier, so that's what we're going to go with here. I'm just going to jump in here. We're going to copy those two. Once again, we're off to an extension. We're going to end our block. Okay, so this one, I'm going to try and keep the same types of classes I have here. So class, this is my content section. This is fine. So in this content section, I'm ultimately going to have an H1 that's going to say edit post or create post. And then I need an HTML form that's going to allow us to post information. Now in my H1, this is really just going to be I'm just going to say new post. New post, because it is just a new post. If you wanted to give it styling, I mean, you could probably just put bootstrap here. Give it some margin. Sure. Inside the form now, the form's really what's collecting all this information. Now, today we aren't doing authentication. Okay, I do want to build out this with you guys. So I'm just going to put this CSRF token here for now, and I can build on that later. And inside here, we need to loop through now, right? So for every field, I guess, in my form, I'm gonna create stuff for it. So I'll create a div. Let's give this a class. I'm gonna give this a margin bottom of 3. Inside here, we can create a label. So this is gonna be a label. What is this label for? So inside here, I'm gonna use Jinja, and I'm gonna say field dot ID for label. I'm pretty much just giving it a nickname right now. And if you want to give it a class, you can. I'm going to skip that for now. I'm just going to say here, field label. Okay, so I have this label. This is fine. Let's create an if statement here. Let's say if the field's name is equal to content. So anytime you start a for loop, anytime you have a conditional statement, you can start them, but you also have to end them as well. Okay, that's just like a heads up. Inside here, we're going to call this, I'm going to give it a text area place. The name of this is the field name. Class, I think I can actually give it some bootstrap here. Because we're using a form, let me check. Yeah. Yeah, I can call this form control. Form control. I don't need my ID here because we're going to use that. And then for the actual text area, we can just put our field value. Yeah, okay. I think that's okay for now. Else else, what do you want to do? I'm going to give it an input actually. This input is going to be of a different type. We're going to say fields dot field widget. And we're going to say field name. Value. Can I copy value? No, I can't copy value. Value. We're going to go fields value. Just like that. And then we can end our if. Like I said. Cool. I should have done a little better indentation, I think. Trying to see where I have everything here, guys. What is this div a part of? Oh. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. I'm gonna end my for loop here. So end for. Okay, cool. Under that, let's create a new div. This is just going to be for two buttons, to save the post or to cancel the post. So I'll create an HTML button here. And inside there, let's just call it save post. And we need to give it some details here. So this is a type of a button submit. We got that. We can give this some bootstrap classes. So btn primary. That's probably fine. Okay, and then let's give an anchor tag, which is going to be shaped to a button. Once we, or I guess if we click cancel, right? I want to just go back to the home page. So URL home. This can also just take a class. Cancel. Let me check my work. Ah, we are good. Let's see, testing. Cool, okay, that's fine. Edit post. Django tried the orders. Uh-huh. You can see that the debugging is slightly different here. Current path did not match any of these. That's fine. I might try and make migrations later. But yeah, you can see that. Wow, okay. Delete, enter. Okay. We're still here. Okay, I'm just gonna make out the last page because we're getting kind of long here. Trying to keep you guys here. What did I call the view? Go to my views, go down to post delete HTML. So that's just what the HTML is going to be called. Post delete. Let's go into a different one. Copy, paste, end block here. Okay, let's create that div. We're going to go class equals content section. Awesome. Let's create an H1. In this H1, we are just going to say delete post. Cool. Inner div, this div is going to be, well, I don't even need a class. Let's give it some styling so I don't have to do this later. And we can give it a paragraph. And I'm going to say, are you sure you to delete? Just give them a question. And then additionally, let's just give them, let's say post.title. Okay, so are you sure you want to delete the post title? Question mark, I suppose. If that's the case, then we are going to do something. We're going to make a new post, right? So let's do our CSRF token. We're going to make a change. We're going to create a button. This is a type submit. Type is equal to submit. Awesome. Let's just say yes, delete. Give it an anchor tag. Otherwise, we can just say URL to my homepage. This will be just a cancel button. So if you decide to cancel, you can just say cancel. Save. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna, you can see it's throwing me some issues now. So I think the first order of business is to actually resolve this. So let's see what I messed up on. I made the migrations earlier on. I didn't really make any database changes. So I'm gonna try it again. Migrations. There is no changes. Okay, so I just wanted to do that as a check. Migrate, clear. Python server is not currently running. Okay, that is okay. Let me run the server and let's get back to that error now. So Python 3, manage py run server, enter. Could be with my views actually. Could be how I'm collecting the data. Create post. Okay, let's honestly just start here. So based off this error, blog URLs, my URLs match the information I'm going for. That is fine. My settings has my blog. So I think I'm having, okay. We solved my issues, right? They're definitely, my views are right. So that's not an issue. I think, let me check here. Did anyone else see it? If you did, let me know. Uh, oh, oh, I see the problem. In the forum, it is a post method. It's not an action. It's a method. I did that 2 times, actually. Let me see if that fixes any of those issues. Ah, that would be a sign that didn't work. Working? Question mark. Save post. Ha! Oh, Joshua. Oh, Joshua. Yes. Look at that. That's brilliant, guys. Super, super, super cool. Right? Oh, this is awesome. Like and subscribe. Thank you, guys. Awesome, awesome. I dig it. Absolutely dig it. Okay. A little bit of styling. This video is getting very long. Okay, so I'm trying to avoid that. I'll do some basic styling, and then if I have to do anything else, maybe I'll put that in the code repo for you guys. The styling, if I do anything, I'll just go here to my base HTML file. Let's close that. In the base is really where I could style things out. And we could just give it some basic styling. So style, yes, you could make a CSS file, okay, but I'm just gonna do it here. So let's just say I wanna target my body, not my booty. That's funny, my body. We can go background color. I wish I knew a good one off the top of my head. F3, that's gonna be so boring. Let me just go here. Let me just type in RGB calc. Let me try and just find one on the spot. If you guys ever need colors, this is a great tool. That's even better than white. I'm just going to take it. Copy. Okay, there we go. Going with that color. So the body is good. And I think the class that I use the most is content section. Okay. And in the content section, we are just going to give it a background. We will go white this time, I think. I'm going to give it some padding. Let's do like 20 pixels. We are going to go border radius, 15 pixels. I hate sharp edges. Box shadow is always a fun one. We can go like 0, 2 pixels, 4 pixels, I suppose. And then we're going to go RGBA and we're going to go black. So 0, 0, 0, 0.1. Okay, and I think we'll try and give some margin bottom, 20 pixels. Okay, let's make sure. Not a comma. That would have given me an issue. Let's see how that looks so nerdy. Yeah, okay. 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 This text here, where did I put that? Is that nerdy posts? That must be my homepage. The Nerd Nook display. Can I say like display two? I might have to read those documentations again. That's kind of big. I want it smaller. So, guess that's new for me there. There we go. That's so much better. Okay, now guys, this was a long video. All right, if you're here, incredible. If you were building it out with me, incredible. I'm going to give you guys a styled version that will be the link in the description. It's just a few more bootstrap tweaks, no more logic. The Django is how we want it. If you guys got value today, hit the like button, subscribe. Let me know your comments and your thoughts.
And there you have it, guys, a Django web application. Now, it's not done. I'm aware of that, and I think you are too. There's a lot more we can actually build this out on. And in future videos, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Okay, we're going to be building out this app to create authentication, a more scalable app, interactivity, you name it, it's going to be done. All right, so that's going to happen in a future video. Stay tuned. Drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Okay, any questions you have. I love answering you guys, trying to help you through your journey because I've been in your shoes. I've struggled a lot. Okay. If you got value in the video, help me out. What are you doing? Hit that like button, subscribe. That really does help me out. And if you guys want to join my Python masterclass where I work with you one-on-one in coaching, live Q&A sessions, and a structured path to your success, that's going to be a link in the description. Head on down, check out my Python masterclass. That's 8 years of teaching experience, and I'm giving you the exact system that's worked for over 1,000 of my students. And if you're just struggling and you don't really know where to go, all right, I have a free webinar that's actually called the Python Roadmap to Success. It's the exact roadmap to take you from zero to knowing in Python, and it's yours, absolutely free. It's the webinar, first link in the description. And at the end of the webinar, I'm going to give you guys a free handcrafted Python guide that's going to kickstart your Python journey. Okay, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Let me know your thoughts. I think I'm done talking for today. All right, I don't know. But until next week's episode, Python Crew, I will see you then.